Welcome into OutKick, the show. I'm your fearless leader, Clay Travis. I hope all of you are having fantastic Fridays. I am late today because I was on with Fox News, Martha McCallum. President Trump came down the stairs, was answering questions right as we started to talk. So that is the reason why I am late. I will be up in Michigan next week. Got to drop off my oldest son there for a camp that he is doing, and then I'll be all over Michigan, be back next week in Nashville at the end of the week. Hope all of you are having good Fridays as we roll into what is officially the start of the summer season, 50th anniversary of the movie Jaws. I'm going to have some fun talking about that. Right off the top, just watching the president talk, it does not sound like there has been any massive movement as it regards Iran and what is happening with the Israel bombardment there. Iran, crazy to me that they are still in some way acting like they have a good hand. It's like they are sitting on a pair of twos and they're playing like they got a pair of aces. I don't understand it. In blackjack terms, they got a 3 and a 2 showing against a face card. And they're playing like they got 20. I don't get it from a blackjack perspective. So that is where we are. That is the absolute latest on that. We got a lot to dive into. Game 7 headed your way after the Pacers obliterated the OKC last night, Sunday night. Game 7. I will watch that. I don't imagine that many people will because the ratings are still awful. But a bunch of different things that I wanted to dive into. I want to give credit to Martina Navratilova, who has me blocked on Twitter. But she responded in about the best possible way to an interview. I believe this is the BBC that we're about to play this cut. I think every female athlete should be as outspoken as Martina Navratilova is, regardless of their politics, about the fact that biological men, that is men pretending to be women, shouldn't be able to compete in women's athletics. They try to make her feel bad about her perspective, and she swings back hard. Listen, this was a clip from Martina Navratilova, BBC.
Thing to do. I want to get your views on trans athletes in sports. You have been very outspoken. So just looking at your social media on Twitter and elsewhere, you said so. For instance, you said, it's not for failed male athletes, whatever age. This is not right and it's not fair. This to you is a question of morality, isn't it? It's about justice. And as you cast it, it's about being fair to women who are participating.
Absolutely. And there's a certain stepladder that you have to go through before you get to elite sports. So it starts really in high school. And then you come out to go into your local meet, and there's a boy that now has a ponytail and nail polish and identifies as a girl. That's all fine and well, but the ponytail and nail polish does not a female make. And now these girls are like, I can't compete against that. I have no chance.
What do you think about where tennis has got to? Because the WTA permits transgender women to participate if A, they provide a written and signed declaration that they are female or non-binary, B, their testosterone levels are below a certain limit for 2 years, and C, they sustain those levels. What do you think about that position that the WTA has got to?
I think it's wrong. I think it's still wrong because, number one, you don't lose the 5 inches of built-in height. Average male is 5 inches taller than a female. Then you add arm length. You got like 7 inches. You got this much height just here. So I have to jump this much higher for an overhead as the guy, that identifies as a woman, to be on the same level.
Perfectly said. They tried to emotionally blackmail her there, and she just refused to play along with it, and she pointed out the facts. Men are, on average, according to Martina Navratilova, 5 inches taller. Their reach, when you talk about tennis and the impact of being able to get to shots, way more substantial as well. So merely putting somebody on some sort of testosterone blocker doesn't change the hands, the size of the hands, feet, reach, all those things. I think every woman in athletics should be making this argument. I think we have a funny tweet from J.K. Rowling, Harry Potter creator. I felt good about going to Universal Studios because of J.K. Rowling having made Harry Potter compared to the ridiculous. There is J.K. Rowling right there saying that basically, hey, I can tell who men are and who women are because I have eyes, which is really, really well said, I think. Okay, speaking of what's going on, the Atlanta Braves swept the Mets yesterday. The 6th straight loss for the New York Mets. I tweeted this. It's gone viral since. You'll recall that on Flag Day, the New York Mets decided they were going to put the gay pride flag up on the screen on Flag Day in Shea Stadium as the national anthem is going on. I believe we have video of that. And since this moment, if we can play that video or show that photograph, which I can see on the screen there it is. You can see the gay pride flag flowing there on the screen. Since that moment during the national anthem, the Mets have not won a single baseball game. They dropped 3 straight against, I don't remember who they played the first series against. Now they've dropped 3 straight against the Braves. They are 0-6 since that moment took place. Speaking of ridiculous decisions, we have a dispute, never would have anticipated it, between the LA Dodgers and ICE, the Immigration Customs, and here it is, U.S. Immigrations and Customs. And the Dodgers said, hey, ICE wanted to use our parking lots. We refused. ICE said this never happened, which is funny in and of itself. All of this is continuing to be an issue in Los Angeles, and I can't believe this happened, but there is evidently a women's soccer team called the Angel City, I believe is the name of them. Correct me if I'm wrong, team, on this. Angel City is the women's soccer team in Los Angeles. Bob Iger, who is the CEO of Disney, recently purchased this women's soccer team, and they now have decided that they are going to identify themselves as, and I want to make sure I get this right, because when I saw this, I was like, this has got to be a joke. This cannot possibly be real. I tweeted it out, and it is real. They have renamed the team. They have made 10,000 photographs, 10,000, T-shirts. And I want to make sure that I get this right because they've rebranded themselves. This is Angel City Women's Soccer Team. They have rebranded themselves as Immigrant City FC. I don't know if we have any visualization to accompany this. There's an article up on OutKick. I saw this. I thought it had to be fake. It is not. It is real. It is not spectacular. Immigrant City FC. And this is just continuing Bob Iger's desire to destroy brands and sports. I mean, he's destroyed Disney, basically provided no value to it for his entire tenure. The stock price is actually lower than it was back in 2015. You just bought the stock and held it. Doesn't even consider inflation. Dividends haven't helped. You've lost money if you just held Disney stock for the last decade. And he's destroyed the brand of ESPN by going mega woke. And now, who is this audience that is appealed to here? First of all, note what they're trying to do. They're trying to confuse immigration and illegal immigration, right? I mean, that is the clear attempt here. But the reality is most people across the country are opposed to illegal immigration and believe that illegal immigrants should not be able to stay here. If you are an immigrant and you are legal, you should be able to stay here. So the idea that they are increasing in some way the support from their fan base, I just don't buy. Most soccer fans of women's soccer are moms and dads who have little girls who play soccer. They aren't some sort of crazy left-wing kooks. And so I just think this is further evidence of Bob Iger not being able to read the room and destroying value for brands that would otherwise have been very popular, like Disney, like ESPN, like this women's soccer team. And I think it ties in with, I saw a clip and I shared it a little bit earlier just before we started the show. By the way, initiative, according to the New York Post, backed by high-profile figures, Eva Longoria, Uzo Aduba, I don't even know who that is, Jessica Chastain, and America Ferrera. Hooray! Are they really well-known sports figures who are going to expand the overall reach of the LA women's soccer team? I don't think so. And again, they're focused on illegal immigration. Okay, they're part of ownership, evidently. I don't know. But Bob Iger and his wife, Willow Bay, from back in the day on Inside Stuff. No, what was that? NBA Inside Stuff? I think that was what the show was called that she was on, if I remember correctly. Anyway, I think this is a profound miscalculation. I think it ties in with a clip that I shared just, 30 minutes ago or so of Congressman Maxwell Frost, who is in the Orlando, Florida area, I believe. And he is going viral now for in a clip saying, hey, we have to be careful because if we're not, then America is going to look more like Florida. And I'm like, well, who are the people that are opposed to that? It's not just that Democrats have bad policy. They have bad arguments. And they don't understand what people in the nation actually want. Look, I live in Tennessee. 0 state income tax here. 0 state income tax in Florida. 0 state income tax in Texas. Most people would rather live in Texas, Florida, or Tennessee than live in California, Illinois, or New York. And so this red versus blue battleground, you don't have to take my word for it. Look where everybody's moving. Look where voters are choosing to live. Florida, Texas, and Tennessee, populations exploding. California, Illinois, New York, populations imploding. It's because people are choosing to live low tax states, limited government, high personal freedom. That's what Florida represents. That's what Tennessee represents. That's what Texas represents. And it's why I think Democrats haven't really taken the lesson of 2024 yet. Kamala spent $1.5 billion. Voters knew what her message was. They overwhelmingly rejected it. They know what Democrats are arguing. They just disagree with it. So Democrats have bad policies in place. It's not that their arguments aren't connecting. They spent more money in 2024 than Trump did. It's that their policies are wrong. And I think it's embodied. I saw where Mark Cuban was evidently one of the contenders that Kamala Harris considered for vice president. I think Mark Cuban, look, you may have seen him coming after me on social media recently. I think Mark Cuban has lost his mind on a lot of issues. And I think it's frankly unfortunate because I used to really like this guy. But I think he's an example of Trump derangement syndrome and also of how desperate Democrats are to find vice presidential candidates that make sense. So a couple of other things that are out there before I let you watch Hot Mic with Chad Withrow. Story that came out just a little bit ago. I'm sure it's up on OutKick now. The University of Wisconsin is suing the University of Miami over player tampering. This felt inevitable to me because these players are signing multi-year contracts. And I know some behind the scenes on the Nico drama. There was talk at Tennessee about suing Nico over the UCLA departure and over not fulfilling the terms of his contract. And I think Tennessee, the university by and large, has just decided, you know what, this is not worth the distraction. We're just going to move on. But I do think that a lot of these kids don't understand that when they sign multi-year contracts, they don't just get the opportunity to bail. And I was having a conversation with a coach about this recently, and he was saying, and it's totally true, when an NFL team drafts somebody, they get them for 4 years at least, and 5 years if it's a first-round draft pick. So if you go find, let's say you go find Puka. You go find Puka Nacua, and you get him at a value situation, like the Rams did. Or you get Cooper Kupp at a value situation. You got him locked in for 4 years. Heck, look at Brock Purdy, last pick, 7th round. The 49ers had to pay him virtually nothing when he came and he was a part of the overall team, right? Was not in any way a challenge. And so as you break this down, I think that college, if you go find a diamond in the rough player and you get him in and then he leaves after a year, what benefit do you get? At least if you decide to keep that player that you found for a low value, you get 4 years from him, or you can trade him and get more draft picks for him. What's the benefit of a school finding a diamond in the rough player, it's like you need to keep him on the bench, because if he plays, somebody else is going to come grab him, and the value is going to be difficult to determine from that point going forward. So again, I think that's just kind of challenging in general, and there's going to have to be some rules put in place that are rational and reasonable and are going to be evenly applied across conferences. And this felt inevitable to me that we would at some point have those contracts that we're going to be sued under. So all of that still kind of underway in general. All right, close out here for the week. And again, the guys at Hot Mic are going to be on after us. Jaws. Today is the 50th anniversary of Jaws. And I think we've got a great picture, one of the all-time iconic. Look at this. It's going to be on NBC tonight, by the way. So it's free if you want to watch NBC. Jaws tonight, one of the great all-time iconic movie posters. Argument for you. We're going to clip and share this. You can weigh in and be like, you know what, Clay, you're right. I think, or you can argue that I'm wrong, I think that Jaws is the most influential movie that was ever made and has ever been made as we sit here on the 50th anniversary. Not the best, because inevitably I say something like this, somebody's like, it's not the best movie ever. Godfather trilogy is amazing. Okay, yeah, we agree. Steven Spielberg's a really good filmmaker. Schindler's List and Saving Private Ryan are better films than Jaws. The most influential movie, Jurassic Park, lots of fun. Star Wars, lots of fun. Indiana Jones, lots of fun. But the most influential movie that has ever been made is Jaws. Because I will tell you this right now, no one ever who has watched Jaws has gone into the ocean, especially if you go very far out at all, and not thought for a moment, oh my goodness, a shark might eat me. You even think that if you're a kid and you remember this, you even think that when you are getting into a lake, into a river, into a pool at night. That movie was so influential that I am telling you right now, it is the most impactful movie of all time, in that people think about it more than any movie that has ever been made. And I think we have a short clip in honor of the 50th anniversary of Jaws. I will play this for you, and then I am headed into the weekend. I will be up in Michigan, and I probably even in the Great Lakes as I jump in the water will think just for a moment, it's freshwater. There's no great white that's going to eat me here, no matter what. Let's watch that clip.
Slow ahead. I can go slow ahead. Come on down and chump some of this shit.
There you see, by the way, Jaws coming up directly behind him. I think we're going to need a bigger boat as he is chumming the waters. One of the all-time great films ever made, but also it unleashed the summer blockbuster era, and it has continued to resonate for the past 50 years, such that more than any movie, I would argue, by the way, Psycho, number 2 on the list. Because much like Jaws, when you get in the ocean, when you get in any body of water, you think about a great white shark. I would argue the stabbing scene in Psycho probably is the second most impactful, because for people who are older that watch that movie, it forever changed the way you took showers. You might have started taking showers with your shower curtain open. You might have locked 8 different doors before you got in to take that shower. That also, I think, probably second most impactful movie scene in terms of things that we all do and thinking about that movie. Number 1 overall, again, Jaws. I would argue number 2 overall, Psycho. I hope all of you have fabulous summers. I'll be on Sean Hannity's show later tonight before I roll out. Appreciate all of you. By the way, we are on track. What is today? June 20th, about to be officially the start of the summer tomorrow. We are on track to have the greatest June in the history of OutKick. That is a testament to you guys and the work that everybody has been doing. Some of that data will probably be out in the next 10 or 15 days, but trust me, unbelievable audience for all of the OutKick shows, for all the OutKick website, for everything we're doing OutKick related, and that's testament to you guys. DBAP unless you need to SBAP. I'm Clay Travis. I will see you guys next Friday, next week. I got to go up to Michigan, drop my kid off, but I'll be back with shows on Friday next week. This has been OutKick, the show.